Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. Karen Nadeau joining us here today from Mainly Coaching. And of course, she's the owner and our main coach at mainlycoaching.com, specializing in transformative coaching services across three core pillars. We'll get into life, business, relationships, whatever she wants to talk about today. But we're excited she's back to talk to us more about her programs and how she can help you. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
Thank you so much, Jill. I am so excited to be here. It's been a couple weeks since I was last on, and I just feel like there's been so much evolution kind of going on in my business that I'm excited to be able to share some of that with you.
Oh, excited to find out more.
Yeah.
Mainlycoaching.com to start, right? That is your website. Any phone number you
Yes.
want to share?
Yep. Mainlycoaching.com is the website. 207-949-6983 is my direct number.
Perfect. All right, let's get started then. Let's begin.
Yeah, no. As we've kind of talked about before, but for those that are new to the show, just joining us, I am a Jay Shetty certified life coach. I've been a coach for really, I say lifelong, because I think at a very early age, I was kind of always that listening ear, but I did get Jay Shetty certified during COVID, so a little over 2 years ago. And prior to that, I was a strategic life coach. So 5 years total that I've been working on my business. And like I said, it's just been such an evolution. I feel like as this coaching industry has changed and continues to change with technology and just all of the methods that we have to be able to help our clients, it's exciting. So more recently, I've really worked on aligning myself with confidence coaching and establishing kind of that niche in my business. I've found that as working with clients, that so many of them have the same limiting beliefs, have the same just preconceived notions as far as either entrepreneurship or their relationships and all of these things, but all of it kind of roots in this confidence part of it. So that's kind of how my business is taking flight. And I'm excited to be here to talk a little bit more about that.
Same here. Thank you so much. Do we call you Coach K?
Yes. So Coach K kind of, it was one of my clients that I've been working with, and he always was calling me Coach K. And I was like, you know what? If you don't mind, I think I'm going to start using that just because, yeah, it's my nickname. And I think Karen got such a bad rap for a while, and I'm not the typical Karen. I mean, I don't know if you've seen all those memes. Don't be a Karen.
Yes, yes.
Karen. So I think from there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna coin Coach K. So that is Coach K, the confidence coach, is now my little slogan. But yeah, one of the clients that I've been working with, I shared the story last time, but he has just taken off. He is one of my clients that was working full time, had a passion of his, and he, in the last month, has left his full-time job, has gone fully into his passion project of entrepreneurship, and is completely thriving. And it's been so exciting to see. And so much of it was his confidence. He just needed that confidence to dig deep and know that he was fully capable of chasing his dreams. As soon as that kind of unlocked in himself, he has just been soaring. So it's been exciting to see.
Beautiful. I love it. Are you ready to create the life you desire? Confidence. I like it. Feeling
Yeah.
self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities and qualities.
Yes. So, it's funny because as an entrepreneur myself, when I launched this business initially, I mean, I would be a fool to think that I wouldn't also have some of those limiting beliefs as a life coach. This is a very competitive industry. There's lots of them out there. I mean, I think even this professional podcast network, that's one of the things that you have take on is life coaches and really supporting us in our journey and being able to provide information to others. And the competition's hard. So how do we differentiate ourselves? So one of the things I've been doing personally for myself is a lot of self-development, finding tools. And I recently invested in the Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within course. And I don't know if you're familiar with Tony Robbins.
I know Tony Robbins, but I don't know about the course. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Tell me.
Yeah, no. So Tony, yeah. So those of you that don't know Tony Robbins, he's been like pretty much the first life coach. He's been doing this for over 30 years. He does a lot of seminars where people come together. This one was a virtual seminar. There was over 30,000 people in attendance virtually. He had speakers from different walks, but so much of it, the benefit of it. And let me tell you, when Tony Robbins does a seminar, these are unlike any other seminars. I was not expecting this because I went in with zero, had no idea. I just said, okay, this is on my heart. I'm going to join. So I did. And it was started at 8:30 in the morning the first day, and it ended at midnight. And when I say it was all day, like there was no breaks, there was no anything. It was full immersion. But everything that we learned was just unbelievable. And what I really took away from that seminar that I want to share with listeners today, especially pertaining to confidence, is in my journey of doing this, some of those limiting beliefs. But we had these breakouts of 4 or 5 different people that we would go in, and it was 30,000 people. So every time you went in a breakout, there'd be
Oh my
different
goodness.
people that would be in these breakouts.
Wow.
And yeah, right. So you would have these conversations and these exercises, but the same things kept coming up for each and every one of them. And I was just like, this is just amazing that so many of us
Yep.
feel that we're alone in our journeys, but so many of us are feeling exactly the same way. And so just know that you're not alone when, if you step out and you think that you know it all, or think you should know it all, I guess is what I should say, that you're not alone. You're not expected to know it all. Lean on people, lean on the professionals,
Mhm.
and be willing to take that information and learn and grow.
Got it.
So
All
that
right.
was
Thank you
definitely
so much. Yay. All right. What
it.
else did you have in mind? This is exciting stuff. So did you ever get to actually meet Tony Robbins? Just curious.
So it was a live seminar. So he was there speaking. I didn't necessarily have like a one-on-one interaction, but my face was on the screen in front of 30,000 people. So I did have that opportunity. But no, he did talk with several different people in the audience, and he's definitely amazing at what he does. One of the things too that I took from there was there's different levels of success, and the difference to kind of like being a professional and incredible to
Mhm.
outstanding. He calls it a 2 millimeter shift. Like it is literally 2 millimeters to go just that one extra step. And that's kind of the 1% of people. So being able to really push and become excellent if you're willing to just take that one extra step to do it. So I found that to be truly inspiring as well.
Awesome. Thank you. What other words of inspiration do you have for us
Yeah.
today?
So I think that one of the other things that I've been working on right now with the confidence coaching is I'm starting a series specifically geared towards entrepreneurs. But I think the things that you can take from that really is anyone, whether you're an entrepreneur, seasoned professional. But I'm having on my podcast I'm hosting different speakers as well, and topics all around confidence. So when they start as an entrepreneur, what are some of the challenges that they've faced? What are some of the limiting beliefs that they may have had? Imposter syndrome, like we talked about. So that would be something I'd also encourage people to go and take a listen to. And that can be found on the mainlycoaching.com website, as well as wherever you do listen to your podcasts. Um,
Mhm.
so that's something that is definitely my passion project. It resonates with me as an entrepreneur and trying to pave my own way, and want to make sure that those resources are available to other entrepreneurs.
Got it. Well, mainlycoaching.com, that's how we could definitely reach you. And would you want to share a phone number and your social media pages as well? Because we're getting inspired. You offer so much from taking people on a transformational journey to your confidence coaching to so much. And there's a lot. I mean, you and your
Yeah.
podcast cover. So
Right, right.
it's awesome to be here with someone who's doing all
Yeah.
this because it's awesome that you're helping people build on this confidence. So let's see. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, right? How do we get you?
Yeah. So mainly coaching, and mainly is spelled Mainly coaching. And Karen underscore mainly coaching is the best handle for my Instagram. Mainly coaching is good for TikTok or Facebook. And my telephone number is 207-949-6983. So any of those methods, I hope you reach out, follow. I'd love the opportunity to speak with you.
Awesome. I agree. Thank you. And we love hearing, great things. And there's some great testimonials on your site. Someone was mentioning working through my relationship with a coach. Well, it looks like has been a transformative experience. Initially hesitant to seek help, but so grateful that they did. My coach provided a safe and non-judgmental space for me to explore my feelings, concerns, the goals within my relationship. And through our sessions, this person gained deeper understanding of themselves and their partner. And then the coach, that's you, helped identify patterns of communication that were causing tension and provided some practical strategies to improve these interactions. So they also guided them in setting realistic expectations and boundaries, which ultimately strengthened their connection. And what they appreciated most about working with you was their unbiased perspective, right? They offered valuable insights and challenged me to see things from different angles, helping me gain clarity, make informed decisions. Their support and encouragement through the process were invaluable. Thanks to the guidance of my coach, I feel more confident and equipped to navigate the ups, the downs. And I've learned effective communication skills, developed a greater sense of empathy, which I hear a lot about empathy, right? And renewed
Yes.
sense of hope for the future. So highly recommending everyone to work here with you all, especially if you're facing relationship challenges. It's a worthwhile investment in yourself, and positive impact it can have is truly remarkable. And that's unnamed. So I can't tell you who that was,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, definitely. I think that the relationship coaching in this day and age is critical, whether you're facing a divorce, whether you're starting out. I find that the clients that I'm able to help amongst relationship, and honestly, a lot of the clients that I'm helping are those that are single, who've been recently divorced and looking to start dating again. And that's where that confidence piece comes in. Uh, to that point, just to encompass all of that, so many of the answers are within ourselves, and we second guess ourselves, and we think that oh, should I? And then you reach out to a friend, and a friend says, oh, do you really want to do that? Or you reach out to a parent, and they'll be like, well, is that really what you want to do? And then you start second guessing yourself instead of listening to your own intuition. And that's where a coach can come in, completely unbiased, being able to really work with you and what your goals are, listen to you, and help you find your own path. Because those other people, as much as they love you and want what's best for you, they also can have maybe misguided. It could impact them and they may have their own limiting beliefs that they haven't worked through that's preventing you from achieving your own goals. So that's why I feel that a coach is so beneficial. It's just that unbiased listening ear to ask you questions to help you discover those answers within ourselves. Because when we're in the thick of it, and I'll say this even as a coach, when I'm in the thick of it, I find that sometimes having a coach for myself to ask questions and what have you, just to bounce or say it out loud and have questions asked of me. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, it sounds so easy. But when you're trying to do it on your own, it can be so hard to find those answers. So that's definitely what I thrive being able to help my clients, because I believe in each and every one of my clients knowing the answers. It just takes a little digging sometimes to find them.
got it. And you're doing one-on-ones, you do group coaching as well too, right?
I do. Yep. I do one-on-ones. I do group coaching. One of the things that I've recently have launched that I'd love to share with the audience, it's completely free
Oh,
benefit, is it's a balance breakthrough quiz. You can go to my website, mainlycoaching.com/quiz. And there is a quiz there. It's 10 questions and it's all about the wheel of life. For those of you that are not familiar with the wheel of life, there's different categories in your life. Could be career, could be personal relationships, physical environment, 7 different categories. And you rate that from 1 being completely unsatisfactory to 10 being, I love my life, it's perfect in this category. You fill out that quiz, and within 72 hours, I will provide a custom analysis with some actionable tips on ways that you can improve those areas that you might want some improvement. Again, completely free. You just put in your name, your email, and I'll email you that analysis. So a great tool. And the reason why this is important to understand is oftentimes in our life, we pour a lot of energy into certain aspects.
Wow.
For example, it could be our career, and we pour all of our energy into our career. But as we're pouring into our career, it could be that our family category starts to become depleted. But it might be our family life that actually is what fills our bucket the most. So when we step back and we do an exercise like the Wheel of Life, it gives us that perspective of, am I on the right track? Is this the way I want to continue? How can I create more balance throughout all of these 7 categories to make sure that I'm feeling fulfilled and living my best life? So it's really to just bring some perspective on that, on all of those areas of your life. So that way you're feeling more balanced and can continue to go, because mental health has definitely been a huge challenge for a lot of people. So it's kind of my gift to be able to give back to the community.
And can you just share just a little bit about your background and your training in this and why you wanted to get into this field? It's always important to hear, we have new listeners, and so it's a good story it's a good time, I think, to share your story with everyone as
Yeah.
well.
Sure. So, I mean, I can talk about a few different things. I shed upon the fact that I've always been kind of, we use the word empathy. So I've always been empathetic. I've always been the type of person that sees people and flee to them because I want to be able to help them and help them overcome challenges. So was always that person for my friends in school. And then as I evolved, I've been married and divorced twice. And through that experience, my first marriage was 9 years. And when I got married, it
You were
was
young though, right?
I was very young. Yep, I was
The first.
21, which is
Hmm.
crazy to me right now because I have a 21-year-old and we laugh
You're like,
about this.
no,
I'm like,
no.
and he laughed too. He's like, Mom, I can't even believe it. That because I was 22 when he was born, and he's like, I can't even fathom being married or even having kids, soon. And but for me, I will say I'm 44 years old, and for me, when it was like the next thing, like it was kind of expected still with my friends, and it was you went to high school, you went to college, and then the next thing was relationship and marriage, and that's what you did. And so that's what I did. I met my first husband in college. We dated for 2 years. We got engaged, and shortly thereafter, we graduated. We got married, and within 6 months or so, I was pregnant. And but in that process, we both were so young. And after 9 years, and my son was, I think, 8 at the time, when we just really realized that our paths were not aligned. He's my ex-husband is an outdoorsman. He loved being outside. He loved fishing. He loved hunting. I'm very much not that. I probably should have lived in the city and loved to just go like motivated, just very driven. And we just drifted apart, and it was amicable. Both of us had decided, like, we just live 2 separate lives. We want different things. So it was an amicable divorce. We co-parented. Our schedule was very 50-50, like literally split 1 week on, 1 week off. And it was our son's schedule. So we allowed him, first of all, he was very active in sports. So there wasn't a day that either one of us didn't see each other because we were always at the events and whatever. Um, Birthday parties, we always shared together as a family. Like again, it was just extremely amicable, which I wish for every person that goes through divorce that they would have that experience, because it's so beneficial for their children. So that was kind of my first experience with divorce. And then my second marriage, I got divorced from my husband, and I had a great friend who actually, believe it or not, and I haven't really shared this, my best friend in college introduced me to my first husband and my second husband. So
Wow, I
she's
love
not
this.
allowed to introduce me to anybody else ever again. We said this just is not a good fit. But so yeah, she introduced me to my second husband. It was a friend of hers that she worked with's friend, and he was a dentist in Connecticut.
Wow.
And we hit it off. We went to a Lady Gaga concert together in Connecticut, and just it was great. Chemistry was great. We were inseparable, and things evolved. And wasn't I think within a year we were married. It was just kind of, I thought it was the complete opposite because again, I
Yep.
had this outdoorsman husband the first time around. Second time I had a dentist, very professional. I was like, oh, this has to work. This is more in line with who I am and how I'm driven. Um, but that's not how it worked out.
Uh-huh.
we we moved to Virginia, and when we moved to Virginia, it added a lot of complexity. I am born and raised in Maine, loved it here, and obviously, I also had my son who in shared custody,
Aw.
so a lot of it was complex as far as that being in Virginia, Maine, back and forth. So long story short, that marriage only lasted 3 years, but I do have a beautiful daughter who is now 12. That marriage ended about 10 years ago. So what's as far as the experience on relationships, I have
Yeah.
two very unique situations because my daughter, since the age of 2, has lived with me full time because I moved back to Maine. So she's with me 100% of the time. She sees her father, once or twice a year. So, very much a single mom, single parent, and I can relate to both sides of it. I can relate to doing the co-parenting
Yep.
side and the struggles that comes with when you can't agree on something specific for your child, and I
Wow.
can see having those time constraints and all of the pressures that you might have as a single parent. So that's kind of what I bring to that realm of coaching is that empathy of I have lived it. I know a lot of those struggles, and to be able to kind of listen and share and
Yep.
work with my clients on that. So
Aw.
that's why I sought out Jay Shetty and took the training certification course to be able to give back in that realm. And then,
Wow.
yeah, as my story continued, again being on this other side of it and talking. We've talked a little bit about this, Jill, but dating and getting back out there and how when you have failed, or I say failed because this is probably going to resonate with a lot of listeners, but I felt like I failed at my marriages because I either failed picking them out, I failed when it ended. Um, so you do go through that feeling of feeling like a failure. And that was a lot for me to work through to just understand that it was part of my story, part of my journey, that I'm not a failure, that there was lessons and growth that I needed to take. Um, but to be able to now take all of that information and be able to give back to others, and work on their confidence, because I think that's really that root cause is a lot of people who have gone through divorce and are looking to go back out in that relationship world need to build their confidence and time management, right, Jill?
Exactly, right? Oh, geez, one of the things I had the most trouble with. But it's great to know how relatable, down to earth you are, and with your own, experiences, totally makes you unique as a coach. So, hence the reason why you became a coach. This is
Yes,
exciting.
yes,
And I know you're here helping so many. Your word of inspiration that I know you put in your notes, you say growth knows no limits. Be willing to learn and grow every day because life is not about perfection, but about progress. Take the first step,
yes,
make mistakes, learn from them, and keep going. Is that a good way to end the
yes.
show? I
Oh, I
think
think that's
so.
a perfect way to end the show. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Well, please remind us how we can reach out to you for that initial consultation.
Yes, it's mainlycoaching.com. And right at the top of my website, there is a link to click to book a free consultation. And I'll look forward to hearing from you.
Aw, thank you so much. All right, you have a fantastic day. And to all of our
Thank you.
listeners and viewers, stay tuned. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk. Are we back on again next week?
Yes, yes.
All right, good. Sounds like a plan. Thank you again. Have a great
Thank
day.
you, Jill.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.